vice versa, can you kind of tease for the people? Obviously, I've seen these ones, but sort of what's in store for Parker and Hardison? Because I think a lot of people like those bits that we don't get enough of.
Yeah, totally. Well, this season they're in store for a date night with Hardison and Parker. They, for the first time, we get to see what they have in store for each other, and then watch all the things go wild, all the elements change and shift, and how they pivot. And then, we're seeing Parker come to terms with Hardison's new job, the role he's taken on, that is, she sees as more important than him staying with the team where they are now. But you see them closer than ever, and they're rock solid, and no need to worry. They're good. They're good.
I can't wait. I did want to ask you, you don't do quite as much grifting as some of them. You're more on the action end of it, but for the grifting you do. Is it hard to kind of switch back and forth for you between Parker and character and kind of
I don't, it's so fun to do it. I think the fun of it has been going through it with Parker's growth, right? Because in the earlier seasons of Leverage, she struggled with keeping a character together, and she would crack, and that was part of the fun of watching her, right? And I kind of thought, she has gotten good at social kind of veneers and things like that when she's in a con, but I don't want her to lose that thing entirely, because it's not as much fun. So I think ultimately, like, she is a thief. She's an adrenaline junkie. That's what her mind goes to. Where's the prize? What are we going after? And, she's all instinct. So I think, it was important with the writing and everything to make sure that you could see her as a leader and someone that can run a team efficiently and proficiently and not go off on the wild all the time. But I also I find clicking back and forth a lot of fun for her and for me.
Do you have a favorite identity that you've done?
Man, over the years, there were so many. This season in particular, I actually really like this dock worker that I played because it was not a huge, amount of dialogue or anything, but it's written as like she does a bad Irish accent. And I added a voice.
Yeah, that was funny.
And did a thing, and I got to improv a bunch of lines. So I had a lot of fun with that one.
I was going to say, do you guys improv a lot? Because it seems like you probably do, but it's hard to tell,
We
from
do.
our end.
Yeah, we do. We always try to give them a take in each setup coverage. We try to give one as written, and then we improvise where we can. Like if it's exposition or something, plot wise that we can't really change, we won't riff there. But on the comedy beats or personal character beats, we always try to improvise because it's just so fun.
Yeah. Do you ever have a hard time not cracking up? Because I know a lot of this gets really funny.
It does. And it's also, I've been told that I have a tell from my scene partners. Christian always loves to give me the most shit about it. He's like, you start to smile with your eyes and it throws me, and then I start laughing.
Everybody's blames
going, right? Me. Yeah, it totally blames me for it. But yeah, it's always hard not to crack, and you never want to blow someone's take when it's really funny, but sometimes we can't help it.
Yeah, I get that. So you talk about kind of how she's adjusting and that. Obviously you want character growth, I get that, but do you sort of enjoy playing more her sort of growing emotional parts, or her kind of craziness, I guess? Maybe that's not the best way to put it. She's very quirky.
I would say, I guess the growth over the years has been so wonderful because she's really been on a journey as a human being and also as a teammate to all these guys. She was a lone wolf who had to learn how to be a part of a family and trust that she could actually have a family in this team, and that would work out for her. My fear is always that she'll get too normalized. I don't ever want to normalize Parker. And I think she's a tough character to write, I think, if you're not inside her head, and John Rogers and Chris Downey did a brilliant job of establishing her backstory, and gave me this amazing playground to play in. And I think keeping that through line while allowing her to grow, but not lose the essence of who she is my main priority, right? Like, I think it's good. The growth is good, but I also think the Parker everyone knows and loves is also still all these other things. And so I like the balance of both, you know. I think I love the physicality of the role. I think it's so rare that you get a character who gets to be so many things and play so many different sides of their personality. So I love all of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's got some fun quirks. So I know that there's certain, I want to say bits in the show, like different things, like when she disappears, and then you're like, oh, of course she's gone. Where did she go? She's trying to steal something, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So you direct again in this.
I do, yeah.
Is it difficult to, I guess, kind of act and direct at the same time? Because I would think that would make it in a way worse, but I don't know. I mean, maybe that helps being in the scene.
I think, it's interesting. I direct 2 episodes this season. I did 2 last season. The challenge is more the time, right? The time it takes to go through the hair and makeup and the wardrobe change and all those things while on set, setting up your next shot, giving direction to your crew, like all of that stuff. I think it's more time management, but I found ways of, I don't go back to my trailer. I ask for a little setup right on set. So they're doing my hair while I'm telling someone, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Or talking to my DP, so you get really good at multitasking, I think, when you're on both sides. But, I hear stories like listening to Jason Bateman talk about Ozark. He's in every frame practically of that show. It's a tricky balance, on leverage, but I do think, because of the nature of the structure and the storylines, I cannot be in, a bunch of scenes. And then when I pop in, I just get ready for it and I'm there ready. When the time comes, I pop in and pop out. And that's just what you have to do, really. It's challenging, but it's also kind of second nature at this point,
Yeah, you talk about makeup and costumes. You get so many different ones. Do you have a favorite costume or something? I mean, I know you talked about your favorite character, but I'm assuming the dock worker is probably not your favorite costume. So.
Yeah, I mean, listen, those jumpsuits have been worn time and time again. The name tag just gets swapped out.
Yeah.
There's a really fun episode that Noah directed where Parker plays someone who's, I don't want to give a spoiler, but it's a departure for the physicality we're used to seeing Parker in. And so that was a super fun one. The whole thing is like a cupcake explosion. It's all like pastels and lots of female energy. And that's a really fun one. I would say also, last season I asked for anytime I could show backstory or my Parker's moment before, like, where did she just come from without having it in dialogue? How can I show this? So jumpsuits, the wingsuit, the free diving suit, stuff like that. Goggles, anything that tells a story. I'm always in for that. I love asking for that stuff.
Are you adventurous yourself? Like, you're making me think of her jumping off the building. Would you ever, with proper gear, would you ever do something?
With all safety, would you ever do something? I did go skydive. I went skydiving when I was 19, 18. I think everybody should do it. I think it's one of the greatest things I've ever done. It was the most freeing experience. And you really feel like you can do anything after that. It was amazing. And yeah, I love camping. I love sports. I love all that.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I'd like to go skydiving someday.
Do it.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the season. I love this show. So
thank you so much. Thanks for chatting, Jamie. It's good to see you.
You too. Have a good day.
Okay. You too. Bye.